Hello you guys, this is a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Let's talk about how I've changed since I was 18 to 27 now. 18 to 27. It's been a journey. Let's talk about it. Let me tell you what has changed and how I have changed and how my priorities have changed as well. Let's go. Oh, by the way, I'll be doing makeup, of course, like we've always done. Here we go. One of the first things that it hit me when I was, again, like 26, 27, was the fact that I cannot give 100% to everything. And one of these things my mentor told me, my very, very best teacher who's taught me contemporary and jazz, and he got me into doing contemporary and jazz dances from Armenian to that transition to American dances. He was like, Sarah, you cannot give 100% to everything. And I was like, no, I can. I know I can. So then it hit me when I was a dancer, a choreographer, the driver, the costume designer, and just more and more and more of whatever I was doing for that gig. It hit me when I actually got a ticket from a cop because I was trying to load out all the costumes and I was parked at a red place. But again, I was the dancer. I was the one that needed to be in costume. I was the one who was coordinating everything. And it hit me that moment that I cannot do everything 100%. And I need to start hiring dancers, or I either need to ask for help, which is my next point, or I just have to be a dancer or the choreographer or the person who's kind of putting everything together. So I stopped doing everything and expecting myself to give 100% to pretty much most of the things that I do in my life. I was also, when I was in high school, I was in the dance team. I was going to a different studio as well. I was taking ballet classes at another studio. I was working, I was teaching, I was learning. And I realized that at some point when you turn older and if you want to keep your focus on the right things in life, yeah, you cannot keep up like that. You cannot keep up with putting so much on your plate. At some point, again, you realize that you cannot do it all and you cannot give 100% to everything the way you used to do when you were a lot more younger. Next thing I learned is to ask for help. I think I've always been so independent, especially when I was little. I was always so independent, taking care of my brother, doing everything. And I realized that no, there are some points that I'm gonna have to ask for help. Either that's from a therapist, from my mom, from the people around me. I'm gonna have to ask people for help to help me carry things down, to help me decorate for a party, to help me just succeed. Because they say if you wanna go far, go with a partner. But if you wanna go fast and just kind of, get tired and exhausted, just go alone. So it absolutely hit me that I have to ask for help. And if I don't, it's not gonna happen. I can't do everything the way that I'm doing. My fitness classes, the dances, the gigs. And you guys, when I tell you it's a moment of realization that was absolutely so hard, because again, I've always been strong and on my own feet and I've never asked for help. It changed my life to much, much better situation. I'm mentally better, I'm physically better, I'm less exhausted, I'm less anxious. So ask for help. Whatever that means to you, definitely ask for help. Another thing that I learned is that I cannot keep everybody happy, especially when you have a business that involves in keeping people happy and satisfied. I realized that I cannot keep everybody happy, and as much as I want to, I can't. There's always somebody that's gonna complain about something, especially when I'm doing all these events for my fitness classes and for just everything that I'm doing, for gigs, for dances, for performances. I realized that I absolutely cannot keep everybody happy. Like, that's just not possible. And I also learned to be less of a people pleaser, because I absolutely was. And trust me, not a lot of people know the value of that. And I changed from being a people pleaser, wanting everybody to be happy, which again, it's not possible, to knowing that, hey, if I give my best, if I do whatever that I'm doing from my heart and with my, all the powers that I have, then we should be okay. The people who are happy will know the value of it. The people who will complain, they will probably never know the value of it because they've probably never have done what I'm doing from my side, or they're not understanding where I stand from the situation and the perspective that I have. I cannot be nice to everybody. I have to set my grounds, and I need to do this with trusting myself, and I need to set my boundaries whenever it is the time to set my boundaries, because if you don't let people know your boundaries, they're just gonna assume that they can just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and you're always gonna be okay with it. But obviously, that's not the case. So don't be nice to everybody. Show your mean side, show your strong, and show your bravery too, because being nice usually always leads you to people taking advantage of your boundaries and your limits and the things that you put for yourself. So stop being too nice, be very calm. Don't fight with people because there's no point in that. Also, make sure that people know that you have boundaries and you're not always gonna be nice just because you're a nice person. And they can't take advantage of you even though you're a nice person. Always, always make sure that you show that. Especially as a woman, you guys, if you're too nice, they will walk all over you. They will, and by they, I mean the world. There's not necessarily a guy or a girl or a family or whatever. Just the world will push your boundaries as a woman. And if you don't set those boundaries up, you're going to end up putting those boundaries up anyway, because life will push you and it will teach you that boundaries and being too nice is never the way to go. So talk about those boundaries, be a little bit mean, and stay on your ground, because we need that, especially as a woman. Next thing is that you have to use the word no at least once a day. You have to set those boundaries as we talked about, but also the word no is what you need to use more often than you think. We're very welcoming as women, and we are always more like the comforter, the person that we want to help others, but you also have to realize that the word no is also going to save you a lot of time and a lot of trouble and a lot of your anxieties and your stress as well. Somebody once gave me an advice. They said stress and anxiety are basically things that you don't want to do and you end up doing. And when you do them, that becomes a stress and anxiety. So use the word no more often, and always think before you say yes or no twice. Don't jump into saying things, especially if it's a gig, especially if it's a contract, especially if it's something that's life-changing. Sometimes it's good to reject it and see where else your life takes you. Lashes are on. We're going for that soft little look for today, going on a lunch, so I think it's gonna be nice. Next thing is, especially as a woman, you absolutely have to control those emotions. And you have to make sure that you calm yourself down before you act upon anything. And I've learned that the hard way, because sometimes you say things or you view things in a different way when you're mad or sad or when you're emotional. So you absolutely have to control those emotions. If you don't control your emotions, those emotions are gonna have power over you and they're gonna control the rest of your life. So you want to make sure that those emotions are controlled and you always act from a good place and you have good intentions and set good boundaries for yourself. So again, if you're emotional, if it's, that time of the month, if it's, crazy, it's been crazy, take a moment. Don't be afraid to take that moment. I feel like I've always just kind of acted upon from my emotions and never took a second to just meditate and calm myself down before I make any decisions. Also, it sometimes comes from the fact that you are not experienced, and sometimes you act upon everything because you want to be responsible and you want to make sure that for example, you don't lose the job. So sometimes right away you're no, I have to take this, I have to do this right now, I have to act upon it. But no, You don't have to do anything. Take that time, talk with your parents, talk with yourself, talk with the people that you trust before you let those emotions control wherever that it's going to lead you, especially in relationships, friendships, and especially towards your family. Because as you get from 18 to 28, 27, your family becomes a lot more important to you, more than all the parties that you want to go to and more than all the things that you want to do in your life that include traveling, adventure, partying, finding the one. So your family absolutely becomes the core of who you are and who you want to protect and love forever, which then you realize it's not forever. And that's where it hits you. Yeah, at some point you prioritize money over your passions. For example, if you were going to dance classes, if you were going to so many different classes, if you want to be stable and if you want to put a business, if you want to go after your studies or the money that you're going to make in the future, you kind of shift your mindset from prioritizing money over the passion. When money becomes your priority and you absolutely want to do the passions after, versus when you were going along with your passion more when you were younger. So I think that's a big shift that has happened for me, where I prioritize my business that I can build as of now, grow it while I also dance and I do dance gigs and things like that. So your business and the way you're going to make money is going to become your priority first, then the passions that you've had when you were 18 to 25. That hit me. The money situation hit me when I was 25. Like my brain shifted and I was like, oh my God, I can make decisions now. I'm 25. Last but not least, which this is the most funnest thing that I've realized, take your time with dating. Take your time with dating. Like if you're dating a guy or a girl, get to know them for a couple months. Don't rush it. Don't think that this person is the one. Don't analyze things. Go out, have fun, and don't worry about finding the one yet until when you meet the one, because when you meet the one, you will know. And go out, have fun, and don't take life too serious. I feel like from literally age of 15 to now, I've taken dating so serious, and now I'm just trying to have fun and along the way probably find the one. But don't prioritize dating, especially when you're 18 or 15 or 14, like some people. Don't rush when you're dating. Absolutely take your time. Get to know the person for 3 to 4 months and then commit to a relationship. And absolutely don't get married unless you absolutely know this guy. And don't get into peer pressure or family pressure or arranged marriages. Just do what is best for you, and you know exactly what that is. So that was my last point, because I've always rushed with getting to know the guy and then getting into a relationship right away. But being a boyfriend and girlfriend honestly doesn't really add much to it. You have to get to know that person and make sure that you love them, that you can respect them. Respect is the biggest thing. I've usually lost respect for guys very easily. You love them, you cherish them, and you really enjoy who they are, because nobody is really gonna change. You get what you see. So take your time getting to know the person. Okay, you guys, that's all I got for you guys at the moment, but I'll try to share more as I grow older and you grow with me. So I've gone through so much and I've learned a lot. I've done a lot of mistakes, so don't be afraid to make mistakes. And honestly, from the 18 to 27, it's a huge shift of mindset and the way you become a woman or you become a man, and you understand yourself a lot more. I feel like the 30s are more fun because you get to know yourself a little bit more, and you get to be like, okay, I know I hate this and I know I love this. But 20s are the most funnest, so make sure you celebrate every birthday that you have, and make sure that to take notes of how you're changing and growing, so you can also teach that to your kids and to your friends and the people that you love. That is all I got for today. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more videos like this as I'm growing and as I'm living and as I'm gaining experiences. Maybe I can also talk about how I started my business and where it's going on the next videos. So stay tuned for those dance behind the scenes and more fun things that are coming on the next vlogs. Bye! Oh, might be going on a date right now, so let's go.